All right. So, welcome everyone to the High Vibe Tribe Sacred Wisdom Conversations. I am so excited to welcome human design expert Stacy Foust with us tonight. And Stacy is an intuitive guide. She's an energetic strategist and visionary leader who helps high achievers break free from outdated paradigms and learn to lead from their deepest truth. With over 40 years of experience in the direct selling industry, she built and led a nationally ranked top 10 team. Stacy understands success from the inside out. Her leadership journey, combined with her mastery in human design, gene keys, and personal transformation, allows her to support others in aligning with their natural rhythm and reclaiming their power. Stacy's work is rooted in clarity, presence, and liberation. She doesn't just offer insight, she activates it. Whether she's mentoring a business owner, guiding a leadership team, or helping someone reconnect with their voice, Stacy is delighted and honored to help each person. And I first came across Stacy on her TikTok channel, and let me just say, I was immediately drawn to her energy. And we ended up trading sessions, and later I will share some of that because it was truly life-changing, and I do not say that easily. So
I
welcome
felt the
to the
same
High
way.
Vibe Tribe. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you so much, Jill. I felt the same way. It was so nice to get to meet you ahead of time, and what you do is just great work. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So the way we're gonna do the format tonight is I have some really cool questions to ask Stacy. And then feel free if questions come up during the interview to ask them in the chat. And then we will open up the floor for questions afterwards. And if you want to come back on video, you're welcome to towards the end to talk to Stacy and or you're welcome to ask it in the chat as well. So it's going to be a really awesome night. We're going to learn a lot. And that's what I want to say too, is I was just in shock when I had my session with you, Stacy, at how deep you were able to go and how you were able from my human design chart to uncover aspects of myself that I was not aware of. And I have done deep soul work and been on this path a very long time. And I still walked away from that session with nuggets that literally changed the way that I do everything and the way that I look at the work that I do. So I'm excited for other people to be able to experience the work that you're doing. So the first thing, I have a lot of questions, but I want to kind of dive in and ask you, was there something that kind of sparked your interest or your connection with human design? And did that change? Like, how did that change the way that you show your expression in the world?
Oh, definitely. So, in human design, well, I'll go back a little ways because my entire life I have been on this path to trying to understand who I am and understand other people. And I've come to realize that through human design, I have what's called an open identity center. So my identity is not designed to be fixed. It's designed to flow. And this is why every time I would take one of those tests like DISC, Myers-Briggs, Strength Finders, all those tests, every time I took them, I would get different answers. And that's because I'm not really here to have a fixed identity. My identity is like in the moment. And so I was watching an Enneagram, I think it was a YouTube back in 2018. And they just kind of casually mentioned the word human design. And it was so weird because I had this shock just go through my body. Like, what is human design? And in my design, I have a gate called gate 51. It's the gate of shock. So now I know when my body feels a shock, it's a time for me to pay attention that I'm about ready to like have an awakening. And that's literally what happened. So I Googled human design, curiosity got the cat. And in the beginning, I thought this is really not for me because it is based on birth time, birth date, birth location. And I'd never really been into astrology at that point in my life, but I just couldn't let it go. So I looked myself up and just like you, I thought, how do they know all this stuff about me? Like, how can they be so accurate? It's almost like giving words to things that you've always known about yourself, but you really couldn't put words to it. It's just a feeling. But human design gives clarity to who we are. And so, of course, then I had to do my husband's and my kids and all my friends. And I really thought it was just going to be like a fun little hobby. But I went down the rabbit hole completely because for the first time in my life, I felt like I understand why I do the things that I do.
Yes. And
And
how long have you been studying human design, Stacy?
really since 2018. So that's 7 years. Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing. And can you talk a little bit about, well, aren't there 5 different
Hmm.
types within the human design? Can you briefly, I know there's a
Absolutely.
lot of depth to it, but can you just tell us
Yeah.
the 5 different ones?
Yeah, so just even knowing your type can give you a lot of clarity. I am a manifester. Manifestors make up about 8 to 9% of the population. We are here to initiate. We are here to start things. We're not an energy type. And so this is why I kept getting burned out and not understanding why. Because I would go, go, go and do, do, do. But manifestors are really here to relax and rest, do things that they enjoy about 80% of the time. And when we do that, we get these creative urges to start things. And they come out of nowhere, these urges. And with the urge, we get the energy to like carry it forward, but we're not necessarily here to finish things. So we do need to work with the team. You are a manifesting generator, and manifesting generators are here to you are an energy type, so you're here to do all the things that light you up. You're not here to do one thing. And one of the things that I realized when I talked to manifesting generators is for their whole entire life, they felt guilty for like chasing all the things because we're taught, chase one rabbit because if you chase more than one, you're never going to catch either one. Well, that's not true for you. And so I've had manifesting generators just sob when they hear this because they feel so guilty that they want to like quit this and go do that. That's really how you're designed. You're here to like start things over and over and over again. And the more things that you do that light you up, the more energy it actually gives you. So having a lot of balls in the air, so good for a manifesting generator. And then there's generators. And between generators and manifesting generators, you make up about 70+% of the population, and you are the energy types. And the biggest difference between a Manny Gen and a Gen is generators are really here to stick to one thing until successful. So to focus and to do things over and over and over again until they become the expert at something. So find the thing that you love to do and do it over and over and over again. They're not really designed to quit. If they start to feel stuck or frustrated, it might just mean they need to take a short break, go do something else, and then come back to it when they feel good again. And then projectors, they're kind of the new kids on the block. They showed up on our planet in 1781. And we're getting ready to go through another change. So I can't wait to see what that brings to the a number of types that we have. But projectors are the new leaders. They really probably don't know this about themselves until they hear it for the first time, but they're really they really can see deeply into others. They don't really understand how well they read people and how well they read energy. They're the guides. They are also a non-energy type, and they're not designed to go, go, go and work, work, work all the time. They're designed more to go in, be in, and they're to be invited in. Their energy comes from invitations, like asking them to share their insights. So there's a lot on projectors. I love projectors because I feel like they're probably one of the most misunderstood type. And so a lot of my clients are projectors. And when they come into alignment, they just flower. Like all of a sudden life works for them, but they're so programmed because most people are not projectors. And
What
then
percentage is
um,
projector
project-
about?
projectors are 20%, so they're more than manifestors, but
Okay.
they're newer to our world. And then reflectors are the last ones, and they are less than 1%. And they are amazing. If you have a reflector in your life, you are blessed. They are they're here to be in energies that feel good. And so when you have a reflector in your life, you know something good is going on with your energy and the energy of the people around you. They're like the canaries in the coal mine. They're here to like direct energy and help people with their energy. They're reflectors because we see ourselves in reflectors. So reflectors, if you love yourself, you love them. And if you don't, and so it's really, and they have a really interesting life for sure. For sure.
It sounds like it. That's just fascinating. And then I'm sure within the 5 types, like, it just keeps going down and down, correct?
There's so many levels to human
Yeah.
design,
Yeah.
just different ways that our energy shows up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, and before I forget, you do offer a free chart on your website, Stacy. So will you go ahead and give that to everyone now
Yeah,
so that they can make sure to write that down?
absolutely. My Human Design Hub is my website. It's also you can find me anywhere on social media, all platforms, My Human Design Hub. And then there's just a link for a free profile. You will need your birthday, birth time in military time. So make sure you don't put in 1 o'clock if you were born at 1 p.m. That would be like 13.
Okay.
Um, and then birth location. And it doesn't matter what
Okay.
country you're in. It's anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, I really recommend that everybody go and print out your chart. It's fascinating just to look at it, but it'll tell you which of this 5 that you fit into. And then so let's switch directions a little bit. Stacey, can you give us any examples of some powerful shifts like that you've seen in people who have
Yeah.
experienced human design sessions?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, when I'm sharing somebody's profile with them, it's not foreign to them. Like immediately they will recognize on a very visceral level that, oh my gosh, this is me. This is who I am. So it's not that you have to make a forced change or force anything. And that's the great thing about human design is that it moves with your natural energy. And so we get conditioned because, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. And there are like 7 billion combinations in human design. So we're like all snowflakes for sure. We really are uniquely designed. And so when we get programmed from well-meaning parents and teachers and mentors that say, do things this way, but when you do it that way, it doesn't really work. It's like putting a round peg in a square hole. But then when you come in and learn a little bit about your design, you realize how your energy flows. And when you realize how your energy flows, life just gets easier. I think one of the most important things that comes out of that first appointment is really understanding your authority. And authority is our decision, how we make decisions. The world says make decisions by getting everybody's opinion. I always used to say, my life is not up for committee vote, but before human design, it definitely was. Like I was asking everybody's opinion. What should I do? What should I do? But that doesn't work for us. We need to be more sovereign and step into our own authority. The other thing that doesn't work for us is making decisions from our mind because our minds were programmed from 0 to 7. And if you had faulty programming, which we all did to some point, we all got conditioned, then our minds are not able to make those decisions. So when they figure out what part of their body makes decisions, so for me, it's my intuition, it's my knowing, and it comes out of nowhere. It's very quiet, very in the moment. For people who have splenic authority, it can come in like just knowings or like chill bumps, or it can come in different ways. Splenic authority is really the hardest to explain. Most people, it's their gut. Their gut will go, uh-huh, like rise up, and they'll lean in. They work best with yes, no questions. So if I say, do you want to go to dinner tonight? They'll go, yes. It's like a full body yes. Anything less than a full body yes is a no. And it might not be a no forever, but it's a no right now. And so once they learn that, they make decisions, like even big decisions in their life. And that's the thing that's really been fun for me is watching someone come to understand who they are and make decisions like changing jobs, moving across the country, getting back in back together because they were going through some rough times in their marriage, but getting back together or separating. Like I've had clients write books after having a session. It is wild for me to watch because I'm like, it's not me, it's them understanding themselves for the very first time. I'm not influencing their decisions at all. I'm just showing them how they make decisions. And they can make the biggest decisions, the most life-changing decisions, which is so exciting. I love that.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say, Stacy, you're highly psychic too. And so for me, experiencing a session, that's what I notice. You're extremely knowledgeable with human design and how it all works. And, you know, for those of you who haven't seen your chart yet, it looks like a body, and then it has a left side and a right side and then all of these sections in there that correspond with organs and chakras and all of that. It's just so intricate, but you can tell that you're very, very psychic, and that comes out into the
Which
sessions as well.
Yeah, which I had no idea, but my life's work is called Gate 57, and it's the gate of intuition. And then I have the whole channel. So I know the information, but I will also get these downloads while I'm talking to people to go here or go there, or just I need to say this and I just say it. So yeah, there that is actually in our design.
Yeah, and it's so helpful. I'll just quickly share two things from my session that literally changed my life. When you were talking about the manifesting generators, and curious to see if we have any other manifesting generators on the interview tonight. But when you said, don't feel guilty about becoming proficient in something and then literally changing direction, that felt so soothing to my soul because you're right. We're taught stick with one thing, stay with it and you'll be successful. And I'm just not built that way. I will build up a business or I'll do something and then I'll feel like it's time to move to something else. And if I don't listen to that, then I get really, really kind of down and depressed and lose energy and feel like I'm deflated. But until you talked about that, there was that ego voice that would come in and say, "You're just not sticking with things long enough." So that was huge. So if any other manifesting generators on the call or that are listening to the replay afterwards, that's a huge token to be able to understand within ourselves and the framework. And then the other thing was you knew in that session, I don't know how you knew, but looking at my chart, you knew that I get these downloads, I'm not going to say every day, but a lot. And you said, I feel like you take all of that information, all of the download, and then you immediately start researching the downloads because, you got the download. And you said, if you are still doing that, stop. And again, that was so spot on because I get these downloads. And what you said in that session was sometimes the downloads are just needing to come through you energetically, but you're not meant to do anything with them. And you
Mhm.
said sit on it for at
Yeah.
least 24 hours, sometimes 48, and then check in after that time period and check in with my solar plexus and how it feels at that point. And I'm telling you, that was another one of those life-changing moments because it was so spot on. I'll get a download and then I'll start researching. And a lot of times it would kind of fizzle out. But now I can save that energy, allow it to move through. sit with it a couple of days, and it's just changed so much, and it's allowed me to keep more of my life force energy for the things that I am meant to move forward with.
Yeah. It's almost like it's giving you your energy back when you know how
Yes.
you are designed and how you make decisions, because you make decisions from your solar plexus. And so sitting on those decisions, they get better and better and better over time. That's how you know.
Yes.
If it's still
Yes.
great the next day, if it even feels better the next day, it's for you. But yeah, you're
Yes.
so open in your head center, like wide open, like things are coming, inspiration and insights and ideas and downloads are coming all the time for you.
Yes, but the permission to just not do anything with some of them was, like, so liberating. I cannot tell you. So that those were 2 of the things. There was a lot more, but we have a lot more to talk about tonight before we get to the questions. So, what I also wanted to ask, Stacey, is for somebody that's kinda just getting started in human design, or you also call it Gene Keys or the Gene Keys
They are
journey?
different. They're a little bit different. So human
Okay.
design came first in the late 80s. It was downloaded by a man named Ra Uru. And he had somebody studying under him, Richard Rudd. And so Gene Keys is what, or human design's what we've been talking about. But in the human design on the side are all the numbers, and these are the planets. This is the astrology part. And he took those and plotted them so we could understand our life's work, what we're here to learn, how to stay healthy, our purpose, how we attract people to us, how we think to feel safe, how we use our emotions to feel safe, like all these things. And that goes quite a bit deeper. There's a shadow and a gift to all of these. And I think one of the things I love people to know about Gene Keys is we came here with shadows. Like there's no judgment. We came here to learn things and we came here with these shadows. But the great thing about the shadows is as we work and do that shadow work, we unlock our gifts. And our gifts are what we're here to give to ourselves, our families, the world. And as we unlock those gifts, we raise our frequency. And again, energy just starts to really flow once we understand those things. So I know that didn't answer the first question. You asked, how does somebody start?
Yeah, like if somebody's just kind of interested in it, like what would you recommend, like after they download their own chart?
Yeah, I would download your own chart. I know inside of me, I've got this thing where I like love to like dig deep into things. Not everybody does. And that's one of the reasons why I started what I do, because I'm like, I'm telling all my friends about this and they're going, Stacy, I don't want to learn all this. Just tell me. And so if you want to learn it, Ra Uru has a great book called Human Design. It's on Amazon. But if you want help, like walking through so you can know instantly, I do offer like an initial session. It's called your sovereign signature. So it's understanding your sovereignty and your blueprint. I think I'm offering $50 off of that tonight with a code for you.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Do you have that code handy?
yeah, I think it's Vibe
Okay.
High 50, High Vibe, sorry,
High
High Vibe
five.
50.
Okay. We'll put that in the chat for everybody. High five 50.
Yeah. And that one is an hour long and we go through a lot, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. And okay, so the gene keys. Which ones are the ones where you're talking about the week, Stacy? Like when you're giving
Oh,
the energy of the week and
yep.
with that code, like what is that?
That is actually both. It's human design and gene.
Okay.
Every 6 days, we move through new energy. And it's like as we go around the sun, every 6 days, we're moving into a different key or a different gate. In human design, it's called gates. In gene keys, it's called keys, but it's the same thing. Tomorrow, we're moving into gate 56. And it is all about the energy of in the gift. It's all about sharing your stories, your life lessons, so you can help other people. I have this one in my emotional quotient. So it's how I work through my emotions. And in the shadow of this one, it's called distraction. So in the shadow, we can go into looking for a quick fix to feel better, like doom scrolling on TikTok or anything that will give us a dopamine hit, or keeping so busy that we're not paying attention to life. But when we change our intention with this key, change our intention from avoiding life to enjoying life, we move from the shadow to the gift. And I can give you a really great example of this. When I am a breast cancer survivor, when I was going through cancer, I started a blog so I could share my story because it was really healing for me. It's how I got to work through all of my emotions. Little did I know people would really want to read anything like that, but it helped them as well. So when you have this key activated, you will have that energy all the time. But during the transit, everybody has that energy.
Okay. All right. That's fascinating. And what a beautiful expression with you blogging about such a vulnerable place, but it ends up helping so many others. I love
Yeah.
that, Stacy. And it's just fascinating to listen to your weekly updates. They're always spot on. And I just love how it kind of helps us navigate the energy and also love how it's given as a gift and a shadow. Because to me, I've taught for so long about the shadow. And I feel like if we can understand the shadow aspects of ourselves, then the gifts get even stronger and more amplified, correct?
Yeah. Sweeter for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I want to open up the floor now. If anybody has any questions at all for Stacy, feel free to unmute yourself and ask or ask in the chat. Give it a couple of minutes and see if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I have plenty more, but I want to give everybody an opportunity.
I have a question, Jill. I don't know what's wrong with my video, but is the audio working?
Yes, let me get your video back on, Tina. Let's see.
I think
Yeah, here it is. No, that didn't do it. Your audio's working, so we can hear you, Tina.
okay. Stacy, I enjoyed listening to you. I have a question. And my niece did my chart. How accurate do you need the time of your birth? Because it's not on my birth certificate and my mother does not remember. So
Okay. It really depends. Some things can change minute to minute as you get deeper into like how you eat and where you live and your environment. Those are minute to minute. The other, what I will say is if you want your accurate birth time, you can write a letter to your county courthouse where you were born. They should have those records on file. They come back pretty quickly. I've had a lot of people get theirs back within the week. But the bigger things don't change all that much. They can. So it's really hard to judge because it's all mathematical and it can change in a minute. Like I was born a manifester, but 10 minutes earlier I would have been a projector. So it can change that quickly.
well, we've estimated. My mother just remembers that she missed lunch. She thinks it was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was hungry. I missed lunch. I think it was around 1. So that, and I'm a manifesting generator also.
Okay. Did it feel true to you? That's the biggest thing.
The generated part does. And I tend to juggle 15 balls in the air and projects, and I can't say no to. I say yes way too much, and I'm running out of energy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does resonate with me. But
Good. If it resonates with you, then definitely you're probably right. Pretty darn close anyway.
I will get my correct birth time because it's so interesting and it's very detailed, like you said.
Mm.
She was teasing me because I enjoyed cooking and my environment is kitchen.
Yeah, so is mine. I don't enjoy cooking though, but I do like being in the mix of things.
Right. She explained, right. You just like get a gunshot people around you. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, Tina. And yeah, definitely get that birth time because that's shocking, Stacy, to hear that by 10 minutes it could change that much. And my husband's on the call, D. Francis, and it was the same when we first got his birth time. It was off by like 20, 30 minutes, and it changed everything. We can't wait for his session with you as well.
Oh, wow.
Important to know. Thank you, Tina. Thank you for that. Any
Stacy.
Thank you, Tina.
Anybody else have any questions for Stacy?
I'm not sure. I don't have a question. I just want to make a statement. I'm a generator. I had mine done last year.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you, Ani. And does that resonate with you, the generator?
I forgot now what it was.
You're here to master what you love.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yep. And you're really able to do things over and over and over again until you like really master it.
Oh, cool, cool.
Is that the one, Stacy, where you say they do kind of stick with one thing and then just keep mastering it?
It keeps getting better and better and better. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do we have anybody that's run your chart and that you're either a projector or reflector? Just curious. Or any other questions for Stacy? Stacy, can you imagine a world where in school, like when we meet with our high school counselors to see about what we're going to be doing, imagine if human design were a part of that?
That would be so great. I prayed every day for instructions for my kids. I think that's why I found this, because for parenting, it would have made all the difference in the world. And even for my parents to understand a manifest, I think manifestors are the hardest to raise because we just do things without asking. But if we could have instructions, like it's like an instruction manual on how to raise kids, how to live your life, how to make decisions. Yeah. How you show up best in the world. It's all those things. Be so great. I can't imagine a world like that, Jill. I really
Yeah,
can't.
I can as well.
Yeah.
And have you been able to kind of help people maybe navigate to a whole different career choice by understanding their human design chart?
Yeah. And honestly, it's not so much navigating. I am more of a guide than I do have my coaching certification and all of that, but what human design does is help people be aware. Like they already know inside of them that the gifts they hold, but you know how we are. We second guess, we doubt, we really wonder if that's really what we're supposed to be doing, but the clarity that comes through understanding your design, yeah, I've seen so many people change careers or do something they've always wanted to do, but weren't sure. All of a sudden the clarity comes and they know. Yeah, it's wild.
And even imagine in corporate structures too, like in businesses, if, the people who are managing and HR and the CEOs are looking at everybody's human design chart, you'll be able to just kind of put people where they're best in service, right?
Exactly. Although projectors are really designed to do that. So I have a client who's a projector, left one job to start another one, and he's like the hub. And so he can see where everybody fits. He came in, reorganized the whole structure, and his boss is like, "How did you know?" But, that's a projector. They just know. They read people so well. Yeah. So
That's fascinating.
Relating to that, if I can I ask another question?
sure, Tina.
Yes, is that you, Tina?
Jill brought up a good point. I own a small business and I have under a little under 20 employees, all with different personalities, but I try and identify their strengths and weaknesses and place them accordingly and work with them accordingly, but communicate with them accordingly. But I think it would be smarter if I knew.
Oh, yes. If you knew who the projector was in your organization
Yes.
and
The
yes.
generators and yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would make a big difference. For sure. We're not here to do all the things. We're here to do what we're good at. And I know I'm very good at very few things. So what I'm good at is where we want to like be and allow other people to be where they need to be, where they're good. Like, yeah, it can change an organization like that, Tina. That's my heartbeat. For 40 years, led teams and helped people with reaching goals and goal setting and all of that. So that's always been something I've loved doing. But now that I get to bring it to businesses and business leaders and entrepreneurs, it's just so fun to see people working in their strengths because life is so much easier.
Yes, I think they would be much happier if they were in a position that they enjoy, more than, and it would help me just the understanding of the different, because I have a management group has been with me for over 30 years,
Wow.
kind of are like a family, but they are all different.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And it's interesting because this gentleman was in the same position in a different company, but wasn't allowed to do what he does best. And the minute he moved over, like he just soared. So sometimes it's a matter of moving to not just the right position, but the right company. Like there's so many things that it could be.
So interesting.
Yeah, and even going further with that, which one did you say, Stacy, is not meant to do a whole lot all the time that needs a lot of rest? Is that the manifestors?
Both manifestors, projectors, and also reflectors.
Okay. But isn't it a huge percentage that's a manifester of the population or?
Manifestors are 8%.
Oh,
Manifest
okay.
generators are about 30, 32.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, those people who are meant to rest a lot of the time and maybe society or the false programming has made them feel guilty, for you're not doing enough. Do more, do more for them to understand they're just wired that way and they're actually more productive when they rest.
Yes, they are. For sure. I can get so much done in a short amount of time when I am inspired and I've been rested. Yeah, it's just night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look at the life-changing dynamic that would bring
Mhm.
as well. Just that one little piece, like that's just a tiny little piece of it.
Well, I kept getting burned out and I kept getting sick with weird sicknesses. I could not figure out what was going on. And this answered so many questions because I was working completely out of alignment. I was working not just 9 to 5, like I would go for 12, 14 hours. I would do all nighters. I'm not designed to do that at all. And so the minute I stopped, it was like, how come I'm getting more done in less time? Like, this does not make sense in my logical brain, but it makes sense when you are aligned to your energy. You will always get more done in less time.
Maybe that's why I love this science so much is because it does have to do with frequency, alignment, resonance,
We're not here to
energy.
Yeah, we're not here to force, we're not here to fix. Nobody's broken. Yeah.
Right.
So it's just coming into alignment.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. Are there any other questions? Feel free to speak up now. And you're welcome to type any questions in the chat as well.
Well, I love the idea that nobody is broken, and that's beautiful.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit curious when you said that you didn't really know that much about astrology. However, date and time of birth plays a significant role in determining your particular archetype in this field. So, how are they related? Do you have any sort of comments or understanding on that? I'm just curious.
That's a really great question. I really don't know enough about astrology to really answer that. What I do know about human design and gene keys is it's also based on I Ching, which I believe I Ching is very closely related to astrology. So it's based on I Ching, Kabbalah, and quantum physics. So all three of these things are kind of like wrapped up into human design and gene keys. So I know that here's the quantum physics behind it. Not all of it has been proven 100% yet, but a lot of it has. So the placement of the planets and the sun and the moon, when we are born, there are like, I forgot the name of them, but there's particles that come off of everything. So there's particles that come off the moon, Saturn, and they move. And you know how perfect our solar system is. Like we move around the sun 365.25 days a year. And so it's like perfect. The timing is perfect. And so as the solar system moves around, it's releasing these particles that get embedded into us. That's the quantum physics behind it. So we are literally imprinted. We're imprinted at the time of our birth and 88 days before. So we have a design and a personality. Our design is, and it's the part of us that we don't necessarily see, but other people see in us. That's imprinted 88 days before we're born. And then the day we're born, our personality is imprinted. So I know that sounds very science woo-woo, but that's my understanding of how it works.
No, I think it's beautiful. Thank you for responding, because it's an interesting correlation, because you didn't know a lot about astrology initially. However, the time of birth and date of birth is a significant part of determining your role in this particular examination. So I think that was a great explanation. Thank you.
Thanks, James.
And Gordon, have you run your chart yet? Do you know which category you fit into?
You know, I think I did a long time ago out of curiosity, and honestly, I can't remember, but I feel very strongly connected to all of them.
You might just be a reflector, because the reflectors feel all the energies. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, that may be me. I need to do it again, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Well, that's a great question, Gordon. Thank you for bringing that. Any other questions from anyone?
I have one more
Yes, Tina, go ahead.
for Sensi. How do you use numerology? What part does that play in the human design with?
So there really isn't numerology. The gates are just numbered. It's funny because my brother does numerology, and I know enough about it to be a little dangerous, but it really is not connected at all. It's just a different modality. It's a different way of looking at life's work. But they really, I mean, when you look at both of them side by side, they're so similar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a great question, because I thought it was related as well, but it's just a completely different type of science, correct? Modality.
mhm.
Yes. And then between the gene keys, so if somebody were interested in learning, the human design is very different than the gene keys, correct?
It just goes deeper. Gene Keys goes way deeper into understanding who you are.
Okay. All right. So human design is the place somebody might want to
I
start
would
diving
say
in.
definitely start with human design. Gene Keys can come later, but yeah,
Okay.
I do both.
And that's what I was going to ask you next. You've studied both and you kind of look at both.
And I will be honest, Gene Keys is my favorite, because unlocking our shadows to step into our gifts is so rewarding, like so rewarding. So I love coaching people through that as well.
Okay. So when somebody has a session with you, are you kind of doing both, or do you lean more towards the gene keys?
So the initial session, I do human design first, and then we just briefly talk about your gene keys at the, yeah. Do you remember that? We talked about your life
Yes.
work, and yeah, that's the
Yeah.
gene keys. And
Okay. That's what I didn't understand, that was separate. Okay.
and so I've got a couple different ways people can get involved. Like we can do one-on-one, but I also, one of the reasons I'm called My Human Design Hub is I decided to start a hub because it's way more fun to learn things together, kind of like what we're doing tonight and yours. And so I do monthly webinars, I do monthly hot seat coaching where I, gather people together. I just had a webinar today and we talked about imposter syndrome and how that shows up in our charts and where it shows up in our charts and how to move from that shadow to the gifts. So we do, and I have all kinds of documents and information in my hub as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. And they could find that information on your website too, Stacy. You know, the imposter syndrome, so many people that are learning and to tune into their intuition face that one. So that's something wonderful to learn about for sure. And some of the messages here, Ani says she has some of all the others too, she thinks. And then D. Francis says, can't wait to receive his session. So
Right.
he'll be scheduling that soon. He's heard me talk about mine so much for sure. All right. Any other questions before we kind of finish up this evening? Yeah, we're just about ready to wrap up unless anybody has any final questions for Stacy tonight. And I really recommend that you find her on social media. Ani says, thank you. It's so informative for any of you that are on TikTok. She comes and does give a weekly energy and number for the week. And it's just so helpful. I tune into it every single week and just kind of see what this energy, what number it is, because I love hearing about the number and the gate and all of that. What social media are you on besides TikTok, Stacy?
All around Instagram and Facebook, and I do articles on Substack. So I just did a series on imposter syndrome.
Okay, beautiful.
Where I also blog on my website. I have a
Okay.
blog on that.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Stacy. This has been so informative,
You're asking.
and I love your energy. We've got Susan. Let's see. Tina says, thank you so much. So informative and interesting. And Susan says, thank you so much. Deep and meaningful work and contributions to humanity. Oh,
Thank
that's
you,
beautiful.
Stacy.
Thank you. It's Gordon, right? I think I called you James.
Yes, thank you, Stacy. I will be booking a session. So interesting. I want to know more. So
I look
The
forward to
answer to
meeting
both,
you.
Stacy. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you again, Stacy. Again, just love your energy. Thank you for all, like Susan said, of what you're doing for humanity. This is a beautiful offering. And thank you for your energy and your intuition and your knowledge and your wisdom.
Thanks so much for asking, Jill. It's been so wonderful to get to know you.
Yes, same. And the replay will go up. And then be sure everybody to write down the code to, if you do want to have your session, High Vibe 50 will get you $50 off your session. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live, and many blessings.
thank you, Jill. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Bye, Stacy.
Bye, Jill.